to another episode of On Two Wheels. Today it's a little bit special, mate.
Definitely.
Look at us all dolled up here, not in riding gear or anything like that.
And who said you couldn't polish a turd?
We're at the Motorcycle Racing Club at WA.
Correct.
It's their special awards night, their annual awards night.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a chat to a few people. But first, we're getting off with you, Corey, because you had a ride just recently on the BMW 450.
Yeah, on the dirt bike. I took it out in the hills and see how it went, and it went pretty good. I was impressed. So we'll have a look at that and enjoy the footage. Well, I've been out reviewing the new BMW G450. I'm hearing this is the last of the model that they're making, and they're actually going to another brand. They've bought another brand, which is all hush hush at the moment, but will be released soon. But this is going to be the last of it. So, well, I'm glad to have a ride of it. To be honest, it's a different sort of bike to ride. The fuel cell is actually under the seat here, which is the fuel tank, which makes a lot of the weight gone from the front to the back, and the air cleaner and the air intake is actually through the front here. I've experienced good and bad things about this bike. It feels really light, and really light on the front end, which is probably something that an inexperienced rider would probably like more than me, but me, I have to climb over the front a lot to keep the front wheel down because I'm only a little featherweight. Everything else on the bike is modern. It's got all the latest in brakes. It's got the Brembo brakes. It's got fuel injection, which all the motocross bikes now are slowly coming out with, which is a good thing. The BMW, what the feature is on this bike, the new bikes in the new magazines coming out now, BMW have been doing it for 2 years on this bike. On the front sprocket, the actual front sprocket is on the swing arm pivot. So when the chain is moving up and the rear swing arm is moving up and down, your chain is staying the exact same tension the whole way. Whereas on a normal bike, where the sprocket is forward, the chain is moving up and down, and the tension is actually going away and coming back. So whereas there's a big bonus on this sort of package. Whereas a bit harder to change the front sprocket, but better for chain life and better for mechanics as well that are working on the bikes at the same time. Okay, you're thinking BMW is going to be expensive to service. I priced it all up. A service is going to be for the oil and filter, $48. Pretty much the same as your CRFs, your YZFs, your KTMs. I know in the KTM manual, 5 hours you have to service the bike, every 5 hours. So that's going to your mate's house and back, you need a service. Whereas this thing here is a bit better package, 15 hours. So you can go to your mate's house and back 3 times, and then you have to service it. With the fuel cell, it's an 8-litre fuel cell. And yesterday I did 132 Ks yesterday, and I still haven't filled it up. So with the injected, it's obviously not using as much fuel as a carburetted bike. If I did 130 Ks on a Honda or a Yamaha, I'll be fueling up by now, but whereas I still have quarter to half a tank in it, so there's no drama there in the fuel wise. So it is a lot better in that aspect as well. So for the extra dollars, I don't think it's much of a disadvantage to be riding one of these things, because you're saving on your service time. You got fuel injection, you got all the latest suspension that every other bike's got, all the latest Brembo brakes which every other bike's got. So really you got a lighter chassis. It's a twin tube chassis, which the chassis weighs about, I would say all up about 30 kilos for the chassis, whereas another bike is going to weigh double that. And then the weight of this bike is actually just over 100 kilos, whereas your other road trailies are around 119 kilos, 120 kilos. So it is a bit better package, and the extra dollars, I think you are going to get a better package. Another great feature with this BMW is the suspension. Is on your normal bikes, they have a linkage and a knuckle underneath and a fork. This doesn't have it. It goes straight to the shocky mounted, is straight to the swing arm, and that eliminates another 5 sets of bearings. So when you're out in the dust or the salt, there's no dramas there. You've only got 2 bearings to replace in your whole suspension linkage, whereas on your other bikes you've got 6, 7, 8 bearings you've got to replace, and at $149 a kit or $189 a kit, it gets expensive. So whereas this is going to save you a lot of money again. This is a great saving bike money-wise. Less maintenance, and you're saving a lot of cash. I think it would be a bike of my choice. Well, if you're interested in one of these BMWs, go and check out Auto Classic or your local BMW dealer and they'll try and set you up with one. I've got Blair here, she's from the Motorcycle Racing Club of WA. What's this event about, Blair?
The event's basically about the annual awards for all of our championship and series winners. So it's basically the last event of our award of our season, which basically covers all of our awards for the whole 2010.
Excellent. So you arranged all this, did you?
Yeah, with the help of a few other people, yeah.
So how'd you get Metallica to stay at the same place?
I know, wouldn't that be great?
Unbelievable.
I think we need to get the band to crank up some Metallica about 12 o'clock when they're heading back and just see if they'll come through.
I reckon you'll be able to teach them how to sing at that stage, wouldn't you?
Oh God, don't know.
Anyway, what's in line for tonight?
Lots of good night actually. Glitz and glamour of the awards night. Always a big night. So we've got all of our championships will be awarded tonight and all of our series winners, and that will finish up quite early actually, our presidents, and then we'll have a big band and everything afterwards, so which will be a great night.
Excellent.
Looking forward to it. Always a good night.
Excellent. So you put a fair bit of effort in. Congratulations
Thank you.
on the effort you put in for the Racing Club of WA.
You haven't got in there yet, hang on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll have a look in a minute. But, no, excellent. Thank you very much.
You.
And yeah, it was a good show this year for the Racing Club of WA.
Yeah, it was great. Everyone did really well.
Yeah, good crowds and good people. So excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm here with you and Keith.
Oh, bless. So is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing when he buys me strawberry daiquiris.
We're going to head over to a good mate of ours who's Angus. Angus runs Firestorm Films.
Yeah.
You've met Angus before.
Legend.
And he makes some amazing videos. And he's very kindly giving us this fantastic video of Matt Mingay. So here's Angus and Firestorm Films.
Check this out.
Rotate. And action, man.
Seen anything like that before. That's the honest truth.
That guy can ride or drive the shit out of anything with wheels on it.
And it's so much nicer on a Harley, that thunderous roar instead of that the jet bikes.
G'day, I'm Matt Mingay from Gold Coast, Australia. I'm 33, professional stunt rider. I've been a professional stunt rider for the last 12 years.
Absolutely fantastic, mate.
Not only travelling doing live show performances and motorsport events and things like that, but I've also done quite a few films.
Do you watch many of the Bollywood films?
Yeah, really.
Do you?
See someone do that on basically a production, 1200 Sportster. It's a whole different dynamic. It's a lot of bike.
Yeah, move along, nothing to see here. Move along, come on.
Inside for my life. Looking inside, but I'm dead inside. Looking inside for my life. Looking inside, but I'm dead inside. Looking inside for my life. Looking inside, but I'm dead inside. Looking inside for my life. Looking inside, but I'm dead inside. The light's gone. It's hard to see. Faded.
Corey caught up with Steve from Adventure Cams, and he had a look at some brand new helmet intercoms that have just been released.
Steve's the gentleman who supplies us all our helmet cams and all our little mics and hookups for all the TV show that we do. Steve, you've got some new gadgets and gizmos out in the market. What have we got?
Yeah, Corey, what we've done, we've undertaken the distributorship of the new Centre Bluetooth intercoms. We spent a lot of time looking at these and absolutely love these. The reason being they are one of the most simple units on the market. A lot of the manufacturers have gone for the more is better approach where they've got 6 or 7 buttons, you've got to try and remember sequences to get activated. These are what we call our Centre Bluetooth, and the functionality is very simple. They have a jog dial for the volume, it's also your on and off, so when you've got gloves on and riding, these things are what I believe to be the most simple units to use on the market.
Yeah, I've noticed with other units they do have a lot of buttons, and you're wearing a big pair of gloves because you want to protect your hands, and you can't actually touch the units, so you may as well not have them.
Yeah,
you don't know whether they're working or not working, or...
Yeah, trying to remember the sequence of all the buttons. These guys have gone for the simplistic approach. They've been doing Bluetooth in industrial conveyor systems for about 20 odd years. So their technology is very advanced. They have a 900 metre range, and as I say, they really are the most simple units to use.
Okay, so is there any other attachments that you need after this model you buy? When you buy your Bluetooth, so this goes to 2 helmets, doesn't it?
Yeah, Corey, you can buy it in a dual pack, which is what we see here. Comes with the 2 units, so the 2 clamps, your microphone, and it has a speaker attachment that goes into your helmet, and that simply attaches to the side very easy. You can do that with an adhesive mount, or it's got a clip-on mount. Centre are very clever. They also brought out an additional helmet clamp that you can now plug in if you're the sort of guy that's got his own custom earphones, such as these creatures. They have a 3.5mm jack at the back. You can simply plug in and run your custom earphones if you don't want the speakers. But the speakers work very well. They are a stereo set of speakers, which is another great feature of these because you can Bluetooth your mobile phone, which enables you to play your music straight through to the centre units. So you can be riding down the road, listening to your favourite music from your iPod, mobile phone, etc. And you can still take mobile phone calls as well. So as you're riding, you can take calls, hands-free, wireless.
And then talk in between bike to bike.
Absolutely, you can pair with up to 4 units, so you can use them with a pillion. Yeah, very good. You can go direct to your pillion with the dual pack set, or you can go bike to bike up to a 900 metre range. That's what they specify. I've actually got more than 900 metres, but if you base everything on 900 metres, and it's pure, crystal clear stereo sound.
I noticed a couple of the training instructors around town are using these things, and it seems to be working for them as well. They can actually tell people and train them as they're riding along, which is another very good advantage.
Yeah, it's great. Just if you've got someone on the back and they want to have a toilet stop, or you've got another bike and something happens out front, you see a kangaroo or whatever, you can talk about it. Or hey, let's turn left here and let's stop for a coffee. I don't know about you, you pull up at the lights and you're trying to yell across to the other guys, it gets very hard.
Definitely.
One of the greatest things I use these for, being a dirt bike nut, is I go trail riding with my son, and we have a great time. We put these on and I can talk to him, give him a little bit of tips and tricks on his riding, and also
he can give you a few back.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, tells me to shut up very often, and it also makes him feel a bit more comfortable because we're actually in touch all the time. So for that, I reckon they're awesome. So they've got many uses on off-road, and like I say, for being simplistic, again, the kids can manage them. They're not trying to find all these crazy buttons up on the side of their helmet. So,
being a good quality brand, are they realistic prices?
They are, Corey. They retail for $5.49. That's for the dual pack. Yep. But you are buying a top-end unit. You can buy the single unit for $2.99. Oh. And they got a 12-month warranty, so...
Well, it is cheaper than most of the brands out there, and it's better quality.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We do have demo sets available too. If anyone's a bit dubious about it and want to try them out, that's fine as well.
Oh, excellent. If you're interested in this sort of handsets or any sort of adventure cam, a surfboard cam, I notice you do everything, and even protectors for cameras, and you jump on our website and look up adventure cams, and yeah, Steve will be able to sort you out.
Right, now Doug, welcome to Western Australia. Now, you're on this road trip around Australia. Tell me why you're doing this trip.
Because I wanted to do 52,000 K in 52 weeks to celebrate the end of my 85th year.
Okay.
It's all in the 1 year. I had to do Australia clockwise, New Zealand clockwise, and then Australia anti-clockwise.
So you've ended up, this is the last trip?
Yes, another 6,000. I will have achieved my 52,000 K.
And you finished up with a shorter route, of course, because going round anti-clockwise is a bit shorter.
23 kilometres difference, so the experts tell me. I don't believe it.
Now, apparently you've done quite a bit of riding in your time.
I've ridden through 19 countries and I've done well over 3 million miles.
3 million miles?
Yep.
My God. So, when did you first start riding?
When I was 14 and a half.
Okay. Go on, what was your first bike?
A 26 side valve AJS.
Wow.
Cost me £1, which was more than a week's pay. First year apprentice motorbike mechanic, 15 shillings a week, $1.50.
My goodness. And how many bikes have you had over that?
Over 400 bikes.
400?
Yeah, I still had 28 when I retired 26 years ago.
This one you're on now, how does this compare to some of the older bikes you had?
A lot better, now it's been fixed.
I understand Dale Britton did a good job and sorted it out for you, hopefully.
Yes.
Yeah, and they looked after you, which was very good of them.
Very good. His price that he charged me was more than generous, in my opinion.
It was really good, was it?
Well, a lot of it was warranty.
Yeah.
But the chain and things like that, well, that's not warranty, that's just wear and tear.
Yeah.
And he was exceptionally generous with the cost of that. Had an oil change filter and the new chain plus a new sprocket that he talked me into getting. So I can't complain.
Fantastic. Now this is obviously the Hyosung Aquila.
Yep.
650?
250, mate. Why would you want a 650 when a 250 will do it for a quarter of the price, cost-wise and maintenance-wise?
A 250cc. You are going round Australia on a 250cc.
Yes, and don't you start me on that subject. I've had that many people criticise me. Yeah, you can't go around Australia on a 250. I have personally ridden through every desert in Australia on my own. The Simpson 9 times, and there's 8 different ways of crossing the Simpson. A lot of people don't realise that. And a 250, I've done it from a Tenere 600 back to a 250 farm Kawasaki KV 250, which I found more than suitable because it has 2 side stands, and when you get 17 punches from Steep Point, West Australia, the end of the world, to Byron Bay, 17 punches, you find the 2 side stands are essential.
I would imagine they would be. I would imagine they would be. Now, mate, you're obviously, sitting a long time on your saddle. Yep. I understand you've been looked after by the Airhawk people.
Yes.
And what's it like? Good seat?
Yes. Not safe on mountain switchback roads.
Slide off it.
No, because when you lean one way, the air transfers to the other side and lifts you up an extra 5 degrees. Once you get used to it, you realise that you're leaning over more than what the bike's leaning over.
Oh, wow.
But on the straight going, you wouldn't wish for anything better. Well, there's my mileages each day. 560, 580, 590, 588, 545, 594, 588. You would be surprised travelling around Australia how so many service fuel stops are 270 to 276 apart. Evidently that was the distance a horse could travel back in the old days, and that's why they built a rough shed which then became a roadhouse.
Roadhouses, yeah.
And so many of them were 276 is a very constant distance between fuel stops.
Yeah, and what are you getting out of the Aquila for a full tank?
I'm getting, the best I've got is 32 to the litre, 32k. And that was with a tailwind. The worst I ever got was with a severe headwind, 23k to the litre.
That's still not bad, is it? And what sort of speeds are you travelling at? Just sticking to 100, 110? You've got to say that.
Only idiots do that. I sit on 95 to 100.
Yeah, that's what you said.
I vary my speed. 3 or 4 times a day I'll take it to 110, even 120. I never run at constant speed.
Yeah.
If it's a strong headwind, I might do 85.
Yeah, I see you've got a cruise control fitted.
Yes, well, I've got to.
Yeah.
I have to have that because of that.
Oh, right, okay.
That's my muscles snapped off my shoulders. I've got no muscles holding that arm on.
Mate, you're doing a good job. I've spoken to a couple of people, one of them being Chris Crocott, who's sort of, I think, lending you a bit of a hand and sorting out bits and pieces for you.
Doing more than a hand.
Is he?
He put me on that bloody Facebook, used the password, forgot what it was without telling me, and everyone watches it. What about this bloke? I can't get it on my computer.
Now, tell me, I don't know if you mind me saying this or not, but you're not at the best of health at the moment.
I've got cancer.
Yeah.
Which is a bit serious, but I don't let it worry me.
Good.
I'm a great believer in the thing between your ears is your best medication. They told me back in 2002, October the 16th, I'll never forget that day, Doug, if you don't have your prostate out, we don't like taking it out at your age. If you don't have it out, you won't see Christmas. And I laughed at him. And the surgeon said, there's no joking matter. I've never had people laugh when I've told them they've got serious cancer. What's the joke? I said, I'm too busy to have it out. He said, what do you mean you're too busy? I said, I'm flying down to the Antarctica camping. I've booked a camping tour down on the Antarctica. He said, cancel it. I said, I don't pay $11,000 to cancel anything.
In 1990s, I think you took a trip to India a couple of times, did you? You did a bit in India?
1997, I took a trip to India, or I wouldn't be here now talking to you.
Really? Why is that?
I lost the wife in 96. We'd been together 49 years. I went troppo, to be quite honest, for a year. My doctor said, Doug, get on your bike and go before you finish up in the nut house.
Yeah.
No, not interested. Me old mate Mike Ferris rang me up a week later to say he's off to India. What about coming? Wasn't interested. I thought about what the doc said, rang him back. I said, yeah, I'll go. I came back, everything was reversed. I felt so selfish, so inconsiderate, completely in the land and naughty, as far as I was concerned, had the wrong approach to everything. To see the Indian people living in a mud hut, no materialistic bloody things in the kitchen or the bathroom or anything, nothing. And they're such a happy lot of people.
I dare say after seeing this, a lot of people will, whether you want them to be or not, I think you will be an inspiration to a heck of a lot of people.
I've heard that word many times.
I think you will. You're certainly an inspiration to me. You've certainly opened my eyes a lot, and with what you've said in the interview today, I reckon it's absolutely amazing what you're doing. It's incredible. I hope you go on to do more. In your time travelling, have you ever got lost?
Many times. In India, I got sick of the Ferris group dawdling along like a bunch of bloody hillbillies, so I turned around and give the Enfield the go, and I got lost completely. But I don't bother with maps. There's my map.
Yeah.
And someone says, is that the only maps you have? I said, yep. Mad. I said, the best fun in life is travelling. The second best fun is getting lost. Why is that good? because you go places and see things you would never have decided to see in the first place.
Yeah, well that's about it, mate.
Yeah, all over and done and dusted.
Yeah, Motorcycle Racing Club of WA, their awards.
Excellent night.
Oh, it was good fun, wasn't it? We've
Great,
had
great
a few.
wine, great wine.
I can't believe that the dickie stayed on.
Yeah.
Oh, I've kept it on, but now we're now we're going to party, mate.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a band in there, and
Metallica's coming back later, and we should have a good one.
Yeah, a few beers with Metallica will be good.
Yeah, sensational.
That'll be good fun. We'll be back again next week with quite an amazing program, so keep watching. This program is brought to you by the following sponsors.